Good evening everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're back again. This is the second night in a row. We are pursuing onwards with our Automobilista 2 Bathurst challenge, and so far we're actually over halfway, so we've got less to go than we've already driven, so it's a bit of a positive outlook for the evening. We've boxed off a couple of classes. We've taken out the Copa trucks. We're not going to be driving any more of those in this challenge. There's lots more to be driven for sure. So we're going to get straight on with it. We're limited on time this evening, but what's certainly for sure is we're going to be back again on Monday evening for a complete finishing off of this challenge and see where we're going with it. So welcome along. Azara, it's good to have you back with us. Tony, good evening. Welcome along. Hope you enjoy the stream with us this evening. We're going to have some fun driving some pretty wacky and bizarre cars around Bathurst, Mount Panorama. So, let's jump in the game. This is where we ended up last night. We're at the Formula V, was the last one we drove, and sitting quite pretty there, actually, third on the leaderboard, which was quite a surprise. So, we have another chance to see if we can get any higher up when we run the Finn version of the Formula V, which has obviously heaps more downforce. So, we're going to jump into that as we go. A fun fact for you all: I was looking through the lap times that we've discovered so far, and the difference between the fastest time that we posted and the slowest time is the time it takes for a Mercedes GT3 to lap Mount Panorama. That's how much of a difference we're on. We're on about 2 minutes and 6 between the fastest and the slowest. So it's big old difference. So without further ado, let's jump in and see where we're going. For our first car of the evening, we've reset the counter, and straight away we're in at my race number 20, which is the Formula Trainer Advanced. Okay, we're going to break in reasonably gently here, so we're straight off into the single-seaters, and we're going to go Formula Trainer Advanced. Now, I've driven the standard Formula Trainer. This is slightly uprated. Evening Funky, welcome back. This is slightly more uprated than the basic level trainer, if you like. So I think, as far as I'm aware, the difference might be in terms of slicks and perhaps a little bit more power as well. So in theory we should be quicker, but that all depends on my ability, of course. We're back with our trusty notepad and pen. We're ready to go. Let's get the ball rolling, or the wheels rolling, so to speak, with a bit of single-seater action for the evening. What we're going to try and do is not have a repeat of all the double runs and, dare say, even triple runs that we had last night. Try and keep this as civil as possible, without throwing any expensive race cars off into concrete barriers at some point around the circuit, most likely on the drop-off skyline. So, the big test is whether I've learned anything from this challenge and take it a little bit more cautiously over the top. Probably going to say no, but you got to push. That's what this is all about. There's no point being half-hearted about it. So far, this little Formula Trainer actually feels pretty good, actually. I'm impressed with this. Formula Ford, as this car is based on, obviously a very popular proving ground for a lot of young drivers. So it teaches you all about car control. It's certainly teaching me a couple of lessons here. Okay, here we go. Well, we've safely navigated the skyline for the first time this evening, even if I have just almost blown my engine on the downshifter first. A little bit cautious on that last bit, but nonetheless we're up and about with all four corners on the car. My steering is pointing in the right direction, and we're all good. I can't remember if I had 4 gears or 5. I have 4 gears. Through the chase for the first time this evening. On the brakes. So the good thing about these little Formula trainers, you can feel the back end just kind of moving around, not unpredictably, certainly in a very controlled manner, and it actually feels pretty good. It's one of those cars you wish you actually had a little bit more time with, because this is actually, yeah, very nice. Okay, so straight away we're in for a 2 minutes 20. So let's write that down. See how we go here. So Formula Trainer Advanced, 2 minutes 20.553. Not a bad lap to start us off for this evening. We'll relentlessly push on, obviously. So what are we going to get to do for the rest of the evening? Are you looking forward to one? We've got plenty which we haven't driven yet. I'm sure there's someone's favourite which we're not quite there with yet, and we haven't ticked off yet, so hopefully we can do some of that for you this evening. Let's see what's next. Number 37 on our new list. Okay, we're swapping our open wheels for closed wheels, and we're going down here to the Mitsubishi Lancer RS. So we've driven the slower version of this car. Now we're driving the one with a little bit more aero and 30 more brake horsepower to play with as well. So let's load in and see what this is like. Now we've done a few things with this in the past. We did the original video when the time trial mode was released for Automobilista 2, and we drove this particular model of car in those time trials just to see what it was like. And we actually ended up doing a time trial lap in reverse as well, just to see how quickly we could go in reverse around Donington Park, which was an interesting experience. Okay, so here we go. What's it going to be like around the mountain? Oops, let's not start off it. Let's get our gearing right, shall we? Right, so we're on the pedals. Straight away, it's a lot less responsive than the single-seater, as you'd expect. So we have to adapt to that pretty sharpish, I think. Okay. Felt a little bit sedate through turn 1 then, but it's okay. Mountain straight once again. Where we're going to brake here, probably about 125. Just feel quite wallowy actually after that single seater, but let's see. Get it tucked in nicely with the camber there. Bit of a power slide on the way out. Sideways through the right-hander there, and again. This is a rally stage, of course. This is tarmac, but no one told the Evo. It was looking for a bit of grass then as well, just to cement its rally heritage. Once you actually get it turned in and hooked up on the apexes, it really does rotate quite nicely actually. I do remember when driving this a while ago actually, it was almost a given that you had to back it into all the corners, so it has changed in feel a little bit since then. It's still trying to go sideways everywhere though. Oop. He's more yeeting. It does, it demands a little bit of aggression actually. There we go. 2 laps down. We're slower than the single seater, but that's all about cornering grip, I'm going to say. That was quite an entertaining lap actually, quite enjoyed that. So the Mitsubishi Condenser RS. So we're running a 227.599. Funky's looking forward to the Sauber C9. Yeah, you and me both. Formula V10s. We had the McLaren MP412, which was a V10, but we haven't had any of the rise of V10s yet. That McLaren held the outright record for a little while, of course, until the Formula Ultimate came to play. So there we go. Two down for our stream this evening. Next one on the list, 44. Okay, our first foray into the world of Porsche Cup cars. We're going with the larger capacity version of the Porsche Cup car, the 4-litre version. It's kind of stealth black look there. Porsche Cup cars. Now, when these were first released, I remember they had a few issues in terms of bump stops and the car bouncing around quite a bit, and I think they have addressed that, so hopefully this should drive quite nicely. Porsche Cup cars are a unique thing to drive anyway. They're kind of a more civilized Fusca. We should put that out there. That's going to be our go-to car when it comes to cars which are unique to drive. But yeah, so it's obviously rear engine, but there's a lot of tech involved, big slicks, lots of power, and a flat six. Let's see what this thing is like around here. Exciting, I think is going to be the word. Okay, get it braked nice and early. That back end's trying to come around on the most basic of corners, so okay, we're going to think positive, we're not going to worry about it, we're not going to go up there thinking, oh, I'm going to die. We're going to attack the mountain in a civilized manner. Ooh, it's lively, that's for sure. One thing's for sure, certainly getting a little bit more used to the circuit. Not that I was ever particularly unused to it, but the more laps you turn around here, the more comfortable you get with it. I'm trying to use that curb as a bit of a berm on the outside to try and stop us from clouting the wall. Wow, things seem to be working this evening. Last night was a bit of a disaster to start off with. We just couldn't turn laps for the, for the sake of it. We just couldn't put a lap together. But so far, so good. Let's hope it continues that way and we can make some more progress into our list. Ooh. Not bad actually, so it is better to drive than it was, that's for sure. It's still a little bit wild, but it's not bouncing all over the place, which is the main difference from last time I drove this car. So there we go, 2 minutes 12.104 for the Porsche, so that's our quickest of the evening, 2:12.104. That's Porsche Cup 4-litre. Still got the 3.8 to come, so that'll obviously be a little bit slower, I reckoned. Not too bad. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. That one was pretty cool. Trying to tame that over the top of the mountain is a good challenge. All right, one more marked off in the red. We're going further down the list this time. Okay, this is the first appearance of this particular type of car in this challenge. And there are 4 different variants get my numbers right, 4 different variants of this particular car, which we're going to be seeing at some point, and they're all going to be condensed probably into these last stages of the challenge. Get myself in the right position. Here we go. We're in the Metal Morrow AJR, but this time we're using the Honda engine version of this. So we've got a Chevy V8, a Judd V10 and a V6 Turbo, different variations of the same car with a different engine in the back. So we're going to be running the Honda, which is a 4-cylinder one according to the info there. 6-speed sequential, 590 brake horsepower from an inline 4 Honda engine. That's pretty impressive. So this could be quite a good one. Obviously we've got loads of aero to play with, so we know what we like about aero cars. It certainly helps over the top of the mountain, that's for sure. So let's see what this thing is like. Sounds pretty good. Ooh, hello. Right. What can we do in this thing? This should go straight to the top of the timesheets. Proper prototype type car, like you would expect with the modern ones with the closed cockpit. Very big area in front of us there. First sub 2 minutes of the night? Yeah, I probably reckon it would be. A bit of wheel spin going up the hill there. The aero kick in now, hopefully. Give us a bit of assistance. Ooh. Although there's aero, it certainly still slides around. Okay, well that was a bit more involved than I was expecting to be over the top of the hill actually. But again, we've kept it in check. Now we're let the power of that Honda engine carry us all the way through to the end. We are going to be under 2 minutes. We are a 1:53.730. Well, that's pretty cool. Looking forward to driving some more of those. See what the other ones are like, if they're any different to drive in terms of balance with the different weight of the engine, possibly. You never know. So Metal Morrow Honda P1. A 1:53.730. And there we go, straight to the top of our timesheets for this evening. But still, well, mind you, it's only, how far is that off the overall? I think it was 130 something, wasn't it, with the Formula Ultimate? Checking back on here. Yeah, 137 the Formula Ultimate was on, so not massively slower, but a good few seconds at least. Right, that one's checked off. Where do we go from here? Now going right up to the top of our list again. Okay, slightly different on this one. We are back in a saloon car, and well, say saloon car, it's more of a sports car, but in a saloon car class. So we're going Puma GTE, which is the next one here. Now, I seem to remember looking at the time. Oh no, it wasn't this one. It must have been the GTB that was dominating the class. So Chevette seemed to be the way of this particular class, but this Puma, which I believe is a Brazilian built car, 130 horsepower, 4-speed H pattern. So remember, can't shift a fifth. Rear-wheel drive, which is good for us, and a flat 4 engine style. So see how this one goes. It's kind of similar looking to like an Opel GT. But yeah, let's see what this thing's like to drive. It's a significant difference in terms of speed straight away, but it's okay. We shall adapt. So we're back in the realms of really long gearing in some things, so I expect the revs will probably die significantly as we shift to third, going up the mountain. They're dying already, we haven't even got to the steep bit. Come on, little Puma. Will we make fourth? The shift light says yes. Gradient almost says no. Come on, got a bit of a downhill run there. Get some momentum up before we actually have to brake. Come on, you can do it. Once again, like the Opala stock car, you just shift down to second and all of a sudden you're bending the needle around the rev limiter's stop. Well, we had our first sub 2 minute lap of the night. Could this be our first plus 2 minute lap? Probably be very high 2 minutes, I reckon, at this stage. Keeping it flat out over the top of the mountain. This bit certainly won't be flat out though. Back end was all of a sudden very loose going down there. Now we have gravity on our side, so we can hopefully build a bit of speed. Stick in a fourth, wait for the rev limiter to kick in. So we're already on 2 minutes 20 for this lap. We have a good 40 seconds to make it to the end, so we should be under 3. Not a second gear corner, but it's just just feel like you're going nowhere if you're in third. Down to the last corner. Quite a sedate lap, and we've just about snuck under the 3 minute 2:55. 2:55.2. I think on a shorter, less hilly circuit, that would probably be a bit more fun. So what are we with Puma GTE? Okay. So, straight from the quickest to the slowest of the evening. Yeah, we definitely jump into setups to change the gearing on that, because yeah, that's just next to useless around there. If you can, of course. I don't know whether you could actually change the gearing on there. Some things you can't. But yeah, that would be one of the first things we'd look to change. 17. Okay, this one is a Formula Retro V8. Okay, back into Formula 1 type cars, and again, monstrous airboxes, 470 brake horsepower. This should be a bit of fun. So obviously we've driven the 72 and the Brabham BT44 already in this class, so Be interesting to see where this stacks up against that. Let's have a quick scan through what we've done already with those. So Brabham BT44 was a 2 minutes 3, maybe a 2 minutes 4. Lotus 72. Where was that? That was further on. 2 minutes 4.0. So we should be in the realms of a 204 with this thing. You'd like to think anyway. But once again, we're DFV powered. To get some temp in these tyres so we don't have chronic understeer. Fighting a little bit too much through there, but we're up and away. Yeah, these old F1 cars really are a joy to drive. Air must have been thinner in those days. Yes, you just had to put the airbox that little bit higher up just to catch as much as you possibly could. Whoop. Quick short shift to third gear there to try and stem the wheel spin. I was trying to get away from me over the crests of the road. Now the thing with these old slicks is that although these F1 cars do like to go sideways, the slip angles aren't quite as forgiving as they perhaps could be. So usually when you go sideways, they really do snap sideways. It's not too bad in terms of controllability over the top, though. We've talked about this already in the previous segments of this challenge. We've made some good changes to make the cars slide around a bit more controllably. Not too bad of a lap. And it's the quickest one we've done with the Formula Retro so far, 2:03.6 I believe. That is not bad at all. So, Formula Retro V8, 2 minutes 3.611. Not a bad lap at all, actually. It's a little bit hesitant over the top of the hill, though. I kind of chickened out a little bit because it's all been going so well and I don't want to have a first crash. But yeah, definitely a bit more time on the table, but that was definitely the quickest of the ones we've tried so far in that class, so interesting to see. We've obviously got one more of those Formula Retros, oh no, sorry, two more of those Formula Retros. We've got the McLaren M23 and the Formula Retro V12 to come as well, so we'll see how they stack up in the grand scheme of things. So, okay, having had none of them, now you're getting two of them. We're back in the P1s down here somewhere, and we're in the V6 Turbo. Come on, mouse, there we go. V6 Turbo. Interesting to see how we go with this one. So the Honda, refresh my memory, a 153.7. So we have another candidate to take the top spot away for this particular part of the challenge. If we can do it with this one, whether the V6 Turbo is going to be quicker. It's got more horsepower. It's got 600 horsepower. I'm pretty sure the other one said it was 454. So we've got more power in a straight line. And with Bathurst the way it is, yeah, there's a chance we could lower that time. Here we go, once more. To Murray's Bend, and up and over the line to start yet another lap of Bathurst, Mount Panorama. But we don't mind, because we love this place. of a locked brake there. Come on, V6 turbo. Give me all that power we need to climb this hill as fast as we can. Goodness for aero. Help me get away with that one. Try and do as small a movement on the wheel as possible over the top there, not to upset the balance of the car too much. Pretty forgiving. It's two big moments we've had on this lap, but we've got away with it both times. So if you're looking for a prototype car that's not going to punish you too hard, this could be the one. Right, this is where it's going to count. Go up and over the line. 54.6. We're slower. I didn't check. I was thinking on the way down to the last corner there. I didn't check to see what the weights were on them, whether the V6 turbo is heavier. But that didn't feel like a bad lap. I felt like I put that together reasonably well. Yeah, we are in fact slower. 1:54.693. We're 9/10 slower actually, so that's a big difference. Curious. Okay. Will the other two be any quicker, I wonder? That's the big question. Now I do know that in our list we have some other wonderful gems to look forward to. We still have the rental cart. So you'll be pleased to know, Funky, that didn't come up last night, so you get the opportunity to perhaps see that tonight. Hi Steve, what do you think of Project Cars 3? Is it an arcade game or not a sim? I'm going to be completely honest, I have not driven it. I've kind of put off, to be honest, because of the direction that they were going and the things that people were saying about it. I may pick it up at some point and give it a try, just to see how much of a sim or not sim it might be, but unfortunately I'm not in a position to be able to comment on that. But from what I can tell from other people, they've not been overly impressed with it. Project Cars 2, as far as I could tell, was not really I mean, running default settings on there with the wheel and things, it didn't feel great. I've been told that there are different settings you can try out to try and improve the force feedback and make it a bit more drivable, so I would need to delve into that a little bit more. But I love the selection of cars, I love the content, obviously the same engine as what Automobilista 2 is, so it'd be good if that was nice to drive as well, but it does take a little bit of work from what I can tell. So onwards, we are back in GT3 machinery. We're taking the McLaren for its lap around Bathurst now. Yesterday we did the M6, which I'm not a fan of, and the Mercedes, which was actually slower than the M6. So let's see whether the 720S can take the crown of the quickest GT3 car around Bathurst. And having a quick look at the the times though, it seems to be quite a popular one. It's all the sim you want. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I mean, here at Sim Racing Bar, we're not ones for saying, oh, this is the best sim, that's the best sim, this is what we think is the most realistic, or anything like that. Everyone has their own preferences of what they really want to get out of a sim racing game, or whatever it is that you want to do. So if you're looking for drifting, one would be really good and it might suit you best, and you like the feel of it more than something else. So exactly. So if that's what you're looking for in terms of accessibility, drivability, brilliant. Excellent. And it means that we can all enjoy sim racing together in one form or another. And you know, so everyone has their preferences of which one they prefer. I try and look for the best in everything so we can actually enjoy every title that's out there, because you know, these developers, they put a lot of time and effort into developing these games and sims, so try and see the positive where we can. But here we go. We're flying up the hill in our 720S. One of the prettier GT3 cars of modern day, I think. It's a really nice looking car, this one. Right, so we're going to brake here. So far, not too bad in terms of grip, bit of a shake of the head through there. Maximise the track on the run into here, grounding out underneath. Oh, almost lift off over the top there. That's really grippy through there. That's half ruined it, but still pointing in the right direction. It's kind of going back to our point about different sims. We will obviously call out things which we feel don't sit well with us, so if there's a certain thing we think it's not quite right, we will call it out, obviously. We can't just ignore it if it's not there, but we try and make sure that we're as balanced as we possibly can. Oh, let me run off. Do I try that again, I wonder? I finished that one off because I thought, well, we probably didn't lose too much. What was it, 204? Yeah, see, I lost it there. I'm going to have to do that one again. First double run of the night. Well, I don't mind, it's not a bad car to double run in. So Alan, you're enjoying Race Room more. Didn't try the last patch yet. No, I've not tried the last patch yet either, shamefully. But Race Room I'm really liking at the moment as well. They've done a lot of work on that, and that's driving really nicely. But yeah, fair point, Funky. You know, if everything was the same, you wouldn't get enjoyment from one or another. And it's like what I say, you know, when we discuss content which is released for one sim but it's already been in 2 or 3 other different sims, there's always the argument of, well, we've already got that, why do we need any more? But it just allows, if this is your preferred sim of choice, you can go out and drive that particular car in your preferred sim, so it just allows a bit more of accessibility for everyone. Oh, that's a bit too quick into that. Let's try and concentrate and get this lap done. Slight lift over the rise and straight back on the power. Did it again, too fast into the top of the skyline. I need to slow that down with this thing. But not too bad so far. Definitely feels an awful lot more alive than the M6 did. So as always, my favourite is the people who complain that MS2 has too many obscure cars, and also complain that they add cars that are already in PC2. Yeah, I love the obscure cars in Automobilista 2. It's because you don't get a chance to drive these things normally. So the more things we get to drive virtually, the better, in my opinion. Here we go. So that was a little bit of a cleaner lap, and it definitely resulted in a better time. At 2 minutes 3, 0.572. So how does that stack up with our GT3 feel? Let's put it in here. So McLaren 720S. GT3 is I was going to put a 1 minute lap in there. It wasn't a 1 minute. 203.572. Let's refer back our notes. So Mercedes 205. Yeah, so the BMW 2050. So we're got a second and a half quicker in the McLaren, which definitely solidifies why they're at the top of the timesheets. There's more in that as well. I mean, I had a big moment going down the hill there. That was very out of control, to be honest. But we managed to survive. We're not on the first page of times, but that's not what this challenge is all about. So, McLaren GT3 done. Next one, number 39. Well, you're getting your job life. Last night's stream was sponsored by Genetics, tonight is sponsored by Metal Morrow. We're back in one of those again. So this time we are in the Chevrolet V8 powered one. While we're here, let's just have a quick look. So weight 950, 920, 940, 950. Yeah, so the V6 is a good 30 kilos heavier than the Honda. And the V8 is a good 30 kilos heavier than the Honda as well. So, well, let's see how this stacks up then. Interesting to see. As always, then the same people who want the 488 GT3 in every single game, yes. Yeah, you always get someone who is absolutely fanatical about one particular car and they just want to get it in everything that they drive. Alan says, I feel that the race can have a cleaner drive when AM2 are more chaotic. Different feelings, not better or worse. Yeah, it is. They are different feeling sims. I mean, there's always the question of how can two ways of driving feel so different, but it's just down to the mechanics of the game and what the developers are able to do with it. So. Here we go then, V8 power this time. Rather nice sounding V8 as well, actually. Yeah, we do, the sounds in Race Room I think are some of the best. So of course the competition has got some great sounds as well, but I'm not completely disheartened with AMS2 because I love the sounds in here as well. So just trying to struggle with traction out of there. Okay, let's let the aero kick in. Oh, I was so close to being flat through there. Just a confidence lift again through there. Do the same through here. Straight back on the power. Try not kill myself down the hill. Whoa, big armful of opposite lock. Whoa, almost clouted the barrier with the rear end. That must have been pretty close. So how many sim racers can even tell the 488 apart from the Lambo, the Audi and the McLaren if you made them drive from Monaco? Here we go. Don't think this is going to be quicker. It didn't feel like a particularly quick lap, but well, obviously it's a quick lap because it's a fast car, but I don't think it was any quicker than the others. By the looks of the red on my timing down there, it's probably not going to be. 158 dead. 158.000. Yeah. Wow. Really? Is it that much different? The Honda 153. That's a huge difference. Tomorrow V8. That's enormous. It's a good 5 seconds difference around here. Well, that's genuinely surprised me. I didn't think you'd be that far off, actually. I know it wasn't as maybe committed through the first part of the lap that the other ones were, maybe, but yeah, that's a big drop off in time, that's for sure. Oh well, that's what this test is all about. Just want to see which one's quickest and where they stack up and what they're like. So, okay, let's slow things down just a touch here. We're in the hot car class again, and we're going to take the Passat out. So 174 brake horsepower in this beast, and we're back on front wheel drive physics again. So okay, so what we learned from front wheel drive physics last night was that I need to drag the brake and I need to not go so fast down the hill because I will just go off. Usually about here, actually, where the outside Super Cheap Auto banner is on the side of the wall there. So okay, let's make this one a one-lap wonder. It's already a bit iffy. Have you also noticed, I was watching one of the live streams of the GT World Challenge from Sonoma a few weeks back, and the chat on YouTube, and any live stream in motorsport these days, it always seems to come down to my sim is quicker or better than your sim. Have you noticed that? It's always someone on there saying, "Ah, Factor 2 is king," and instead of Corsa Competizione is the best, all that kind of stuff. Whereas really, they're all good in their own way. Yeah, better gearing, just needs a better driver at the moment. It's definitely like a camel that has its own idea of where it wants to go. You've got to try and prevent it from doing that. Waving its front end all around at the top here. Well, we survived it. It's about as good as I could ask for, I think. It's still pretty unstable going down the hill, that's for sure. Windscreen wiper flapping in the breeze in front of us. 215 kilometers an hour down the straight. Cars have alien levels of lateral grip. Yeah, so when you do end up going sideways, they do have a fair amount of grip that pulls you back in again, especially if you floor the throttle. There we go, so 236.9. 958. This is the Passat hot car. Still quicker than the Puma with its 255 lap. There we go. Right, we're rattling through these quite nicely this evening so far. Again, if you didn't catch the end of the stream last night, we are on a limited time scale this evening, so it's going to be a shorter stream than normal. However, we're going to be going full at it on Monday evening. So 34 on my list, let's knock that one off. Ooh, number 1 on the list. Oh goodness. Okay. Alright. So we're into the second... Oops, not changing the circuit. What am I doing that for? The second of our Caterham experiences with the 620R. This one is going to be interesting. That's what I'm going to say. Having done a couple of half-hearted demo laps around here to get some screenshots for our thumbnails, etc. This is one of the cars I drove, and if you've seen our post on Instagram, this car is likely to take off Mountain Straight. So if we can keep it going in a straight line, I'll consider that a win. Now this is sequential gearboxed, so we should be using our paddles, because I shall certainly need both hands on the wheel with this little pocket rocket. So insane amounts of understeer on this car, followed by equal amounts of oversteer on the way out. It's almost to the point of it being undrivable, so come on, let's get some temp in these tyres. And this is your captain speaking, please prepare for liftoff. Yeah, it certainly gets under the front wheel arches of this particular Caterham quite nicely over there. You spend most of the lap around here driving through gritted teeth, because you're never quite sure what the next corner is going to throw at you. Well, we made it over the top of the hill. Press the duck down button. It's like karting, yeah, just duck down in front of the little aero screen there. Flat out, 266 kilometers an hour. So much understeer, I nearly went off the track through the chase. It's just mental, this thing. It really is. It's just trying to take you out everywhere. Oh, wow, that's a... I wouldn't want to do an endurance race in one of those around here. Goodness me. Whew. Okay. Caterham 620R. A flying lap, literally, of 2 minutes 20.647. So where does that stack up then with its flying antics? So this is a tenth slower than a Formula Ford. Although I do feel that you could go quicker than that, should you actually manage to control some of that understeer and get the car pointing in the right direction reliably as well, like a Beam NG car, just without the soft body physics. Yeah, that's a crazy machine, really is. Yeah, I bet all these people here have had a good go at trying to tame that, because it wouldn't have been easy getting those times in that thing. Good lines are not a thing in the 620R. No, I didn't feel like I maximised the track very well with that thing. Oh man. Okay. Next. The 13. Okay, right. Hopefully we can have a bit more more grip. And Formula Classic Gen 1, I believe it's Model 1? Yeah. Gen 1, Model 1. We've driven the Model 2 already, so this is the Model 1, so the difference being the Model 1 has a little bit less horsepower, a little bit less weight though, quite a bit more less weight. So again, V6. Let's see what this thing's like. You know, in essence, this thing should be trying to kill me around here, not the 620. But then, who knows? It could be all nonsense. Staying online on this track is a good line. Yeah, absolutely. Staying on the track. Aerodynamics are for people who can't build engines. Whoever built this car. Yes, just get more power out of it. Who cares about the front end lift? It's just fine. Just put more power in. Let's drive through it. Okay. V6 turbo F1 time again. Lovely raspy V6 noise. Wait for all that boost to kick in. Fire us up the hill. Revving all the way up to nearly 13,000 RPM. Crazy numbers. No lift off this time. I was just waiting for the boost to kick in then. I was like, it's not going, but it will any minute now. The good thing about that turbo lag is it does allow you to get through the corners in a semi-sensible manner. I wonder who is more mental, Enzo Ferrari or Colin Chapman? I don't know, both have their own individual traits of mentality. Enzo was just ruthless with drivers, though, wasn't he? There we go, across the line, we made it. That was actually really enjoyable. 1:49.0. That's a flying lap around here. And that, everybody, is our quickest lap this evening. 1:49.037. So Formula Classic Gen 1 Model 1. Good lap, 1:49. That was fun too. It's always nice kind of manhandling it with the H pattern as well. It gives you so much more realism. Even though it's only a very basic H pattern, it's still, yeah, it's just awesome. Love it. AMS2 might not have lift-off oversteer, but it sure has lift-off. Yeah, and I have a feeling there's going to be more of that to come as well, because I think there's another vehicle which is going to potentially do that to us too. But not that Formula 1 car. There's plenty of grip on there. Okay, another Formula 1 car heading our way. This one's for you, Azaris, because we love a good... Where's it gone? Which one was it? It's gone already. We love a good bit of madness, and we're going Cosy moment. Lotus Type 49C in gold leaf colours. It's just a beautiful car, this, isn't it? It's absolutely stunning. It's such a classic, you know, if you're thinking of old school F1, this is the kind of shape you draw, with a standard kind of cigar tube chassis, a couple of little fins on the front nose, little wing on the back. Oh, it's just amazing. Love it. Such an iconic look. 440 brake horsepower, 5-speed H pattern once again. Oh, look at this. Looking forward to this one. Our leather driving gloves on. Ooh, we're already sideways. Once again running cross-ply tyres, so even though there's a bit of understeer there, we should have a bit of forgiveness when it comes to going sideways. David, yes, beautiful car. We love this one, don't we? Absolutely. I will try not to crease it. Bring it back in one piece. We're taking off again. Turn in. Missed the camber that wasn't going to pull me in from out there. Just holding off on going full throttle because I just expected it to go sideways on, and it did. How these people used to race these cars in period. Absolute heroes. Just trying to get sideways everywhere. Speaking of Colin Chapman's mobile coffins. I hope they haven't modelled the tyre falling off, the wheel falling off mechanics of this car. We saved it. Come on. Doesn't like that slow left-hander there. We're across the line at 2:11.1. Well, that was an involved lap. Love that though. Got to be on your toes driving that thing, that's for sure. Lotus 49. I think it's a 49. 211.119. Second quicker than a Porsche Cup car. When you put them into perspective like that, it's really odd, isn't it? It just doesn't seem to stack up, but then you think about it and it does. Never mixed cross-ply and radial. Remember those ads on VHTV? I can't remember those ads, unfortunately. Were they radial rather than cross-plies? Please correct me if I'm wrong. This was motor racing, not like today's F1. Yes, Steve. Yes, that very much was motor racing. Oh, it's at a P4 lap time there. Look at that. Not the quickest Brabham, but... oh no, it was a Brabham. Oh. Got a bit ahead of myself. But yeah, I love that Lotus. So good. Right. What's next? It feels so sad to kind of move on so quickly from some of these because you just want to spend more time with them. But okay. Next one. At least you can catch the slides now. Yes, you can. I did catch a couple of them there, which I probably couldn't have done not too long ago. So, Ultimas. Time to take the Ultima race version out on track. This thing is cool. I mean, don't mix on the same axle. The Ultima started life effectively as a kit car almost. Someone had the great idea of let's create a bare chassis, bolt some monstrous big V8 to the back of it, make it rear wheel drive, and see what happens. Yeah, it ended up being a bit of a beast, and it's been refined over the years. And now this is going to be quite an interesting lap, I think, because these cars are pretty fun to drive, even if they have got a very odd shaped steering wheel. Look at this. It's not like, it just doesn't look round, it's kind of elongated. But that's okay. It's not going to affect us too badly in our lap, hopefully. Always mix crossplane and radial to turn your Mini into a hot hatch. This is a good combo, so the Zaris uses it a lot for FFP testing. Okay. Well, hopefully this one should be a good lap. So far feels pretty nice actually. Just enough movement from the rear end just to keep it interesting, but enough downforce to provide some grip. Oh yeah, I just love chucking it in over there, that's brilliant. Nice rhythm down the mountain. Oh, that was fun. That was good. So, it's funny saying, in the very early 80s you could still buy both types of tyres, and not a good idea to mix them. Ah, okay. GT3 car with no BOP or driver rates. Yeah. Be interesting to see how it stacks up in terms of time against the GT3s. We'll find out. Ooh, okay. That's not far off, is it? That isn't far off. What was our McLaren time again? That was a 2:03.572. Ooh, we're just quicker. Who needs driver aids when you've got an Ultima GTR? 2 minutes 3.543. That was mega. I really liked that. That was so fun. I can see why that's your go-to combo, Azaris. That really is good. Yeah, love that. Love that. So good. Right. There is one more Ultima, of course, to come, which is the street version, which I suspect will be a bit more Larry. But we'll go on to our next one. Speaking of Larry, but not as you'd expect it to be. We're back in the Passat again. This is the classic B. Okay, back in front wheel drive again, because we love it so much. It's way quicker than GT3s. Yeah, to be honest, I could probably extract more from that and it would go quicker. Obviously with the setup changes as well, that would be considerably quicker as well, I'm sure. But yeah, that was good. Someone's forgotten to close the bonnet on this, look. Propped open. It's flared arches. Hopefully the gearing is okay on this one. Seems alright so far. And here we go, once again attacking the mountain in our Passat. So that feels significantly better than the other front-wheel drive cars that we've driven. I wasn't trying to just kind of wander all over the place that time, so well, we'll reserve judgment until we get over the top of the mountain, because that's where we're really going to find out if this thing is nice to drive or not. We have 5 gears as well, which is good. Need advantage of this being an uphill braking. You can really brake late and attack the corner. Keep the revs up. Still trying to do that swapping ends thing into the cutting. You've seen that before. Good thing about these slower cars is you get a chance to actually concentrate on your lines and make sure you maximise every bit of turn-in space that you have available. As smooth as possible. Flat out all the way over the top so far. Scandinavian flicking into the dipper. And slide midway through. The mountain is capable of fending off many attacks. Yes, many of mine have been thwarted. Yes. Got to respect the mountain, because if you don't, it's going to end up in one of those very luring concrete barriers quicker than you would care to know. Here we go then. Smash the curve on the inside. Towards the last corner we come. Get on that curb. Not too bad actually as far as front wheel drive cars go. A 254 182. So we've spoken in the previous ones that front wheel drive, at the moment at least, isn't AMS2's strongest point. In general, I mean, on the Copa Classic cars, I found that it doesn't seem to behave very well. The Classic Mini, on the other hand, is another story, and that does work very nicely indeed. So this is the Passat B 254 182 in hot competition for slowest of the night with the Puma GTE, which we were about a second quicker than. So that's quite good. That's mostly going to be down to gearing, I think. It's the same class, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, so that's not bad. So the quickest one in that class so far is the Passat. What else we got? Okay, we've got about 5 minutes left before we need to head off. So what have we got? Okay, this should be a quickish lap. We have the P2 class making its first appearance in the challenge. We're taking the Sigma P1 out, which is an odd looking thing because the cockpit's really far forward and there's this huge expanse of bodywork behind it. Obviously for aerodynamic purposes, but 520 brake horsepower, quite heavy, 1170 kilos, and a V8 engine in the middle of the car. But yeah, big dive planes at the front, huge front splitter, wings, winglets all over it, so there should be plenty of downforce, which is what we like over the top of the mountain, just to give us a little bit of confidence. So it's a wild looking thing, isn't it? Big ducting hoses in front of us. Whine of the turbo as well. Lots of dump valve noises going on. Let's see what this thing's like around here. Plenty of information in front of us there. We've got our dashboard and our lap time and all sorts, so quite an interesting cockpit. I'm going to brake here. wobbling around a bit. I love how you just drift up towards the wall through there. It's close. Too bad though. Riser should crowdsource default setups from the community. Yeah, that might be a worthwhile thing. Or at least create some alternative setups like you see in some other sims, like instead of course where you have like a stable or an aggressive setup. There's a lot of options for people who don't have time to delve into them too much. Sixth gear on this thing. Yeah, it's quite long, isn't it? Up and over the line. That's a 2:06 .499. That's kind of in line with what you'd expect with modern day V8 supercars. So, what is that? Sigma P1. There's a 206.499. Okay, we have time for one more, and then we are on our way for the evening. So let's see what's our last one for the night going to be. Let's just mark that one off. 13 we've done, 31 we've done, 16 we haven't done. Okay. Oh, it's too short, yeah, BOP to be in the P. Oh, okay, that's what you mean, yeah. So, we are in Formula Retro again. We're going to finish this class off by the looks of things. There's my alarm telling me it's time. So, Formula Retro, the V12. So we're not Cosworth powered on this one, but we have a great big V12 behind us, 490 brake horsepower, more H pattern, retro Formula 1 goodness coming our way to finish off our stream for the evening. Should be another sub 2-minute lap hopefully. So here we go. We love V12 single seaters, or V12s in general. Hey Patrick, yes, again up the mountain. But we love it. Sounds good, doesn't it? We're not far off actually, Patrick, getting our full quota of Automobilista 2 cars done around here. We're going to be finishing off on Monday evening with our final part of this series. Turn. No! I was too brave going into that. I've got to do this again. I thought, yeah, this car's moving around quite nicely underneath me. I can be confident in chucking it into there. It showed me. Yeah, this is a fabulous track. Great sound, slow car. Yeah, on that first run, I did see red on the split times because our Formula Retro V8 was pretty quick, so it doesn't feel quite as quick over the top of the mountain. A lift to stop the wheel spin. A bit more restraint this time, hopefully. Bail out on the throttle a little bit there. Let's not increase it this time. Almost missed the shifter first. Yeah, and it's not a first gun. I still crashed it. But to be fair, the number of crashes to completed laps ratio is lower tonight, so that's what we like. 2 more corners to go in this beautiful sounding V12. Up and over the line, a time of 2 minutes 4.096. 2:04.096. Retro V12. So what was our V8? A 2:03.6. So it's about 4/10 slower than the Formula V8, which is actually not too bad. I thought it would be a lot slower than that. It didn't feel particularly quick, but yeah, so that's a bit surprising for me, but quite a pleasant surprise. Well, there we go. There we have it. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in for us, even though it's a very short stream this evening. We've made some more good progress. We've got through a few more cars, and we will be back on Monday to finish this off and to drive the remainder of the cars, which I'm still glad that there's some good variety in there, because we've got, I know there's some there's some more GT cars to be driven. There's some karts to be driven, various different degrees of speed. So yeah, should be a lot of fun. So join us then on Monday. We're going to start reasonably early, but keep an eye out on our social media channel for information of when we're going to be starting that particular stream. But until then, we will see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.